Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah, Kadash. Shalom to the apostles and elders of Great North Sun and rule well. Shalom to the brothers to the wife, sharing the truth. Just wanted to go into essentially how, the giant's going to be put back on Israel, after, when it comes to the time of the end. We're basically coming into a time when, it's being revealed, who the nations are, who Esau, Edom is, the role he's got to play, and then the same for Israel as well, who the chosen are, and then, the power behind them. He's basically going to say like, yo, these are the ones, man, that I chose. So I'll start with this. Luke 6:23 says, "Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is high in heaven. For in the like manner that their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep." And yeah, as far as for the current place, current state we're in, if you're rich, if you're blissful on this side, then you're in for a rude awakening. Because anything that's facilitated is temporal. We're basically going into a time where all the things have been established on this side. It's all going to be flushed. It's all going to be done away with, and then a whole new system is going to come in, and then even that's going to be flushed, by fire. Then the kingdom of heaven's going to be set up. So as far as anything you're building now, that's not really going to go too far. But that's why it's a consolation. You got a consolation prize. You can enjoy it for a season. But even then, there's people losing. They'll get it, and it's not really all. Not all the glitter is gold. It says what? "Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets." And yeah, really, that's those with fame, success. They'll be, people will quote things they say. They'll be like, yeah, that's my icon, that's who I look up to. I model myself after X, Y, Z. You've got with that fame at present. But a lot of them don't, things that happen behind closed doors, things that haven't been publicized. A good example that's topical is Russell Brand. Because there was, that guy was running around being a complete degenerate for a hot minute. And if you know anything about what goes on in Hollywood, these guys got up to criminality behind closed doors. But now you got stories coming out, and he's getting the rug pulled out from under him, even though he's kind of shifted up and redone his image. Those things can still come out, man. He might have everything was going smoothly for a season, but now what? It's it's basically he's back in hot water. Because why? Anything you get on this side is a consolation, man. It runs for a season, it runs for a minute, but there's not much depth to it. 2 Corinthians 11:14, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." Yes, no marvel. Because why? As far as for even Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's basically switched up his image completely. You go back to 200, 300 years ago, then you would have had, things being done that now in the modern day they'll call monstrous, disgusting, vile behaviors. But, now for guys is chipping in, like 50 grand into a funeral. There'll be a round of applause. They'll be like, what a great and giving person. Essentially, that whole image has been essentially been reworked. So that now he's looked at like, someone to look up to, someone to aspire to be. But again, that's just the surface level. And what's the reality? It's the same person. It says you wipe away the rust, and then you'll find it's that same person underneath, man. Read this, John 15 and 18. I'll start from 18. It says, "If the world hate you, you know that it hated you. No, it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, wherefore the world hateth you. And yeah, that's essentially how it is. For those that have been chosen, for those, we're of the hopeful elect, those of the elect, they're basically going to have that stigma. Because basically what? We're coming in the name of someone that's been despised. We go back, we can read about it when Yahushua was on the scene. He was despised to what? To the point where they wanted him put to death and then succeeded. And then those that came in his stead, the apostles that came afterwards, like nigh all of them were put to death for what they were teaching. They were teaching in that name. And that's the same thing we come in. We come in that same name. So essentially, it's not a surprise. It shouldn't, be shocking that we're despised by the world as well. He says, remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all those things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. And yet, essentially, we've come in a structure and order. We've basically come in the name of Yahushua, in the name of Yahweh as well, in the name of the Holy Spirit. We've basically come here. We're doing a work, man. We're continuing in a work that's long been established. And that's something that's never meshed or jived with the world. Now this current world has been put under Esau's, rule. Esau is basically given, handed to Esau. It's the same thing. It's still the same world. That's why a whole different image of Yahushua has been set up, and that's something that's been exalted. But in a true image, you can't find it anywhere. Well, I'll go to this. Numbers 24. 8 says, the Most High brought forth of Egypt, out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of his unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones, and pierce them through with his arrows. He couched lay as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. Yeah, that's really what's been set on Israel. Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. Because when you look at what was going on this time, well, I'll read on a bit. It says, and Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he smote his hands together. And Balak said unto Balaam, I called thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast altogether blessed them these 3 times. And yeah, so Balaam, the Moabite, he was basically going to Balaam saying like, yo, put a curse on Israel so we can come against him. But then what happened? Balaam basically, he had to do as he was instructed. He says, what, blessed is he that blesseth thee, and curses he that curseth thee. If the Most High ain't putting a curse on them, then it ain't going to come to pass, man. And if you're trying to put a curse on them, it's going to flip back and hit back again. What does it say? Therefore now, flee thou to thy place. I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, the Lord Yahweh hath kept thee back from honor. And Balaam said unto Balak, spake I not also to thy messengers which thou sentest unto me, saying, if Balak will give me his house for the silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord Yahweh, to do either good or bad of mine own mind. But what the Lord Yahweh saith, that will I speak. So yeah, essentially if the Lord's blessing Israel, then they're getting blessed, regardless of what anyone tries to formulate. Same for getting cursed. If Israel's getting cursed, if Jerusalem has to get put on smash, if the Babylonians have to come through, if the Romans have to come through, then that's going to come to pass. If Jake has to go into that transatlantic slave trade, that's going to come to pass. But then it's the same thing. When they're going back into the land, when they're getting blessed, when they're getting raised up, that's going to come to pass regardless of what anyone else has to say. The words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that's basically going to be the key thing. That's what's going to come to pass. Um, It's cold as this. Luke 3 and 7 says, Then said he to the multitude that came forth to be baptized of him, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits worthy of repentance, and begin not to say within yourselves, We have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. So yeah, as far as for when it comes to law, there's no boundaries, no limits. If he wanted to, he could raise up stones, but then he's bound by his own word. He made the promise with Abraham that what will be promised to his descendants, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that's what's going to come to pass. Then it's even the same before Jacob and Esau were born. There was promises made of what the older will serve the younger. Then Esau got his blessing, got blessed with the sword, which he's fulfilling. But then that doesn't then overwrite what's the word that's gone out. Because now we're seeing it. Now it's all essentially being manifest. We're right at the tail end. Because Esau's got his rulership, he's got the fame, he's got so-called the glory. He's now the one that's essentially the main focus, man. He's essentially looked at as a hero. You go to Hollywood, Esau's image is the one that's being glorified. But then, what does that mean? Because when it comes to the prophecies, that's part of prophecy. That's his role to play up until what? He reveals his fangs, man. And then after that, what happens? The return of Yahweh Shai, and then blessing unto who? Unto Israel. Because Hosea 1:9, it says, Then said the Most High, then said the power, call his name low of me, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered nor measured. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. So yeah, for Israel, it's basically going to flip on its head. As far as it goes right now, this place is really the place where Israel's not, they've not been referred to by that name. So when they got taken over here, they were taken in, both from like the west coast parts of Europe over to the Americas, and they were given that proverb, that byword. And that's really what's stuck to this day. Whether you go by, nigger, negro, black, colored, whatever. African American is like the newest one. This is still a byword. It's still not the original name. And that's something that as it's, when it's going to be made, clear, and they're going to be co-signed, it's going to be made plain before everyone, undeniably so. So I hit this, Isaiah 60:1, Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And yeah, that essentially what? That gross darkness, that confusion, that mess. People aren't aware of everything that's going down. You ask people simple questions, they're not going to have answers. Most people don't really think about anything on a deep level. So even like something like the meaning of life, so what the future holds, these are things people aren't gonna be meditating on, because their life's basically caught up in the web of simple worries, man. They're thinking about paying bills, they're thinking about the relationship they have with their partner or friends, they're thinking about holidays, they're thinking about different simple things, but then they're not looking at the bigger picture. Because those people that were doing that same, they were meditating on these same things in the Ukraine. And then bombs started dropping, all that went out the window. You talk to people that grew up in like what do you call it, Eastern Europe, when there was various wars going on, they'll have a completely different mindset and approach to life because of what they've seen.
Yes.
Same for those that've been in the Middle East and then seen like that, you know, their family get blown to bits in front of them. But they might have been like, oh yeah, you know, my uncle or whatever, my granddad got blazed. Like, it's wild as hell. They'll have a completely different viewpoint on life. It says what? But the Lord Jehovah shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Yes, the switch is going to happen. That glory that shines going to be put back on Israel, mainly for through Yahushua and the elect. And then the 2/3 when they come back, they're going to come back in their right mind as well. But that's the image now of Jake. They're seen as the worst man. They're seen as a tell. You go to the persons, they'll break it down. That Israel's essentially, they're going to be looked at as like, you know, despised, man, as nobodies, which that's you can see manifest. But then what? That's going to be flipped on his head, man. See, I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. Say, praise Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, Shem Al-Qadr, so on.